Welcome back to Blaster Master Zero. We're still in the ice area, but we'll be finally getting the plot on a little bit. We'll finally find our space-timey, wibbly-wobbly frog friend.
I'll tell you what, now that I'm in such a good mood and I'm not as tired as I was last time, Blaster Master looks a lot more fun to me. Sorry about my
Well,
pessimism in the previous session, guys.
Didn't you, like, just wake up or something like that?
I'd had
Or-
like an hour of sleep or something.
Yeah,
I
there
forget.
yeah, that
It
was
happens sometimes. I'm a terrible insomniac. Uh,
Sometimes I think sleep is fake, so it's okay.
Yeah, sometimes.
I mean, I'm not exactly less tired right now, but I just got done with an all-day marathon session of World of Warcraft Classic, and I think that would put anybody in a good mood. uh,
I guess unless if you were from that one episode of South Park where they actually did, like, machinima with World of Warcraft.
I forgot they did
Because
that.
because nobody really ended up happy at the end of that from what I remember. So,
Yeah.
but again, I also haven't watched South Park in maybe like 5 years, so I don't really remember much about anything with it at all.
Yeah, back when they were still doing occasionally acceptable targets with actual satire instead of just being mean-spirited.
Well, I mean, okay, well, South Park has always been mean-spirited.
Well,
Yes.
there's a difference between
Well, but-
mean-spirited and just mean-spirited, you know?
Point granted.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, but anyway, you might notice if you're watching this in Futureland that we find our frog in this part, but there's more parts coming up, which means that there might be more to this story than just finding our frog. Which means that we go to I almost called it Bomberman for some reason. I have no idea why.
I mean, it kind of looks like Bomberman.
Actually, you know what it is? This is Blaster Master Zero, and for some reason my brain went to Bomberman X
Bomberman
Zero,
Zero.
which is still like the most what the hell video game to ever exist.
There are worse.
no,
I mean,
the most what the hell
I mean-
video game to ever exist is probably... I had one in my head, but I lost it. So.
Well, I just mean of all the franchises to do a dark and gritty reboot of,
Yeah.
Bomberman is not even in like the top 100,
I
of
mean-
ones to go for.
I mean, kind of, but if you like actually read the manual for the first Bomberman on NES,
Well, that's the
And
U.S. manual though, where they make up
it's,
crap.
I
all
mean,
the time.
it still kind of counts though.
I mean, I don't know. Bomberman lore. I don't know how much of that's considered canon.
Just
or
those
what
two
the
words
Japanese-
together in the same proximity sound wrong.
I mean, there's a surprising amount of it because there's like 6 different eras of Bomberman, and none of them have anything to do with it with
Yeah,
each other.
and they like all have their own planet, and sometimes Max exists and sometimes he doesn't.
Yeah, it's just like tone, characters,
I don't
art
know.
style.
It kind of feels like, Mario lore, that makes sense because because the games have like ongoing continuity and some fantastical elements. But
Mario
Bomberman
lore
lore,
also tries to not be consistent as much as possible.
Bomberman
So-
Yeah.
Bomberman is a game you play in multiplayer on like an 8x8 grid, throwing bombs at each other. What story? God damn.
Well, I mean, they have kangaroo friends. There's a lot of story behind having kangaroo
there-
friends.
There's the kangaroo friends. You have like the different bombers with different abilities.
And they just straight up gave up in the new games and just said, okay, we're making our own stuff now. I don't
Yeah.
want to have to keep track of it all.
It's kind of like lore in a Bomberman context is like plot in a King of Fighters context. It's like you just
Oh
don't.
my god, King of Fighters. It bothers me that Geese Howard is simultaneously dead and alive at the same time. It's absolutely infuriating. Actually,
Well, if he's both of them, he can be very unpredictable.
Schrodinger's goose.
Yeah.
You don't know what the title of this SNK game is, and Geese is both simultaneously dead and alive in it.
Yes.
Like I apparently his I don't like I
guess,
know
I guess
jack
the title
about
Dead or
SNK.
Alive is taken though, unfortunately.
No, not dead or alive, dead and alive.
Dead and Alive.
Dead and Alive.
Dead and Alive sounds like the porn parody version of Dead or Alive.
You mean it's not already?
I mean, if they haven't done it yet, that's like easy money being. Wait, well, you know what? I would have said easy money, but we're not in the year 2009 anymore.
Dead or
so I feel
Alive,
like
Dead or Alive porn is one of those things like the developers deeply regret making a PC version of the games because now they're using the actual models for it, and
Yeah.
the
well, that
developers
was the
have
thing
been
with Overwatch too.
the developers got pretty angry about that.
I remember when Overwatch was newer a couple of years ago. Like, they had to do, I forget what it was specifically, but so many people were using the models to make source filmmaker porn videos of Overwatch characters that they had to like
Cease and desist, yeah.
do cease and desists, and everybody got so upset, and I'm like, guys,
They have to.
come on.
It's sort of. It's one of those things where you're kind of causing a Streisand effect with that.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, it's just like
It's like they kind of have to because that's how legal precedent works because the law is
Yeah.
dumb.
yeah.
It's kind of like how Nintendo officially owns the Mario porn,
It's like
just
Yeah.
specifically so it can never get released
it's
again.
like if they let it slide, if they let it slide and someone does something worse in that context, then they have to let that slide
Oh
too.
no, Froggy!
Fred, no.
No, our Poliwag pal. And he's a robot. He's been roboticized.
Oh no. Wait, he still does that?
Why would anyone make a
Yeah.
robotic-tailed frog in the first place?
Because it's very unique.
There is actually a reason why they made a robotic-tailed frog. I don't really remember the reason because I haven't played this game in like 6 months.
Because
but there is one.
it's a portable wormhole device, really.
Is he possessed by
Yeah,
the
but-
robotic tail of robotic chaos?
Yeah, but I don't get why it needed to be a frog. Is my question.
Yeah. Why does the co-pilot for your battle tank need to be a cute anime girl?
Okay, you see, I understand that one a little bit more, if only just because the internet has shown me how perverted people actually are.
Okay, so like in
But-
in universe, the explanation is probably they made it human and because they wanted it to be something that people could interact with easily, and they made it female because that's more welcoming, you know.
No, as we'll see in the next game, there are guy ones.
Well, they made this
Yeah,
one
there's
female
like,
because
there's
that's
like-
more welcoming.
Yeah, the guy one is like a butler, if I remember correctly.
No, there's the he's like a butler.
Yeah, there's the butler. The
I
weirdest
was-
one is the sexy tree.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there are explanations for this kind of thing in some stories. Like, the reason the robots in Persona were made to look like humans was because that helped them gain personas.
I mean, at the same time, dogs can also have personas in that series, so...
Well,
Yeah.
one dog who was particularly attached to his owner did develop a persona, but the odd thing about that character is he's the only one who never has, because he's a dog, he doesn't have a character arc, so he doesn't have a second persona. He's always just Cerberus, and that's it. So he's kind of limited in that way.
He can be friends with the Blue Lantern corgi.
But, you know, Koromaru is special.
Is he a good boy? I haven't played this game.
Koru-chan is definitely a good boy.
Okay.
Like his entire, like the entire reason he ends up with them is like he's like the guard dog for a shrine owner or something, and they get killed by the owner gets killed by shadows. So the dog wants to fight the shadows and develops a persona to do that or something.
I don't think I got far enough in Persona 3 when I played it to get him. I got the third grader, though.
It's very,
which, you know, is
very
about as
soon
weird.
after the third grader, but the third
I
grader
might
has a
have.
kind of dark plot to him.
Yeah, I don't remember much about it because, God, when I first played this, it must have been like 2010 or 9, so nearly 10 years ago when I first got to it. I didn't really, I only got, only in quotation marks, about 20 hours into the game, so most of my details are pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like, funny, no, I meant fuzzy. But I mean, granted, I feel like that's long enough of a time to establish that it's not my type of game, but
Yeah.
it's also not a long enough time to like actually understand the story at all. Because even
Yeah.
for RPGs, Persona can be
Well,
long.
Persona 3 though is also very rough. Like it was the first in that style, and it has problems that the later two games don't have. Uh, a lot of problems, in fact. Like the pacing of the story is all kinds of uneven. There are key plot points that are very undercooked because they just didn't have time to flesh them out. And um, well, they just kind of dump half the party members on you in the middle of the game, which the other games don't do. They kind of give you one party member at a time. Uh,
Well, one problem it definitely doesn't have is its battle theme. Ooh, yeah. Da, 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 da.
Mass Destruction is
the
pretty
the
good.
the gr- the girl themes are better. Fight me IRL.
No, they're definitely better. I mean, like the music from the female protagonist is so well loved that even though they for some weird canonical reason they didn't want to have her in the dancing game, they still had all the music in the dancing game. So yeah, and they're pretty much the best tracks in there.
Well, I mean, I don't really get it, considering that by SMT lore reasons, all endings in all versions of every game are
Well,
canonical.
it's because
So they-
the dancing games are canon, and
Yeah, I
they
know,
had to
but
settle
every
on
game
one
can be
protagonist.
Well, I mean, didn't they also, for the Persona 5 one, they had Pancake Murderer guy be in the game, even
Akechi.
though he's not.
He's
not
just
canon.
DLC. He's not in the
Yeah.
story. He's a
I
character
know.
that you download and dance one dance with, and
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, they
And
could have
it-
done
and
that for her, too, is what I mean.
Yeah, they should
just so
have,
she's
but they
there.
Oh, catchy. Fangirls are just going to keep squealing over you in Royal.
Although, thanks to Q2, we now know that there is indeed an alternate timeline in which the female protagonist exists. She gets sucked out of it to join the Q2 cast, and like none of the Persona 3 characters in the game know her because they're all from the male protag's time.
So, Ryan, you mentioned that about Akechi, and Dragon Quest XI has its own that character. You
Oh,
know,
really?
the one who's like a giant jackass, but he's tragic and troubled and pretty and an anime boy. So people like, and I mean, I like him.
So fangirls love him anyway, and just
Well, here's
excuse
the
all
thing:
this
it's
shit behavior.
Dragon Quest, so I don't. We don't have enough fans for me to know if we'll get that yet. I mean, he's one of my favorite characters as a villain. Like, I think he's one of my favorite villains in the series, not just that game. But I'm just, since the Switch version has more, has more interest going into it, I want to know. So anyway, if more Jasper fangirls have appeared since Dragon Quest XI S has popped out, please let me know how cute you think he is in the comments. I mean, he does have good hair. I will give him that much. You know.
You would be the BrainScratch expert on that topic, wouldn't you?
I mean, not really. I don't get what makes men attractive at all, to be perfectly honest. Like,
I was talking
Like,
about
this
the
is-
hair.
I mean, that's true, but it's also like pretty and blonde. And I'm like, my hair's not pretty or blonde. So, you know.
You have Jasper hair envy. That's where it starts.
Yeah, pretty
That's
much.
always where it starts. Even the women have Jasper hair envy.
Pretty much, yeah. Didn't we already fight this boss, basically?
Effectively, but it's kind of a different thing.
Oh yeah, there's icy floor. You see, I would have
Yeah.
melted the entire floor to make it not ice physics.
No, because when you get
Oh,
rid
right.
of it, it'll refreeze the floor, and the refreeze floor now has like spikes and stuff on it.
Oh, right, I forgot
So
about
it's
that.
it's
yeah.
just easier. It's easier just to leave it as the base ice floor and not have to deal with spikes.
Yeah, okay, yeah. You know what? I completely forgot about that mechanic. So, yeah, you're right. Although now you actually lost your thingy. And
Nope, it's back. See
Yeah.
it came back now. That it actually cut some of the ice. This boss is tedious.
With this weapon, it is. With another weapon, I could imagine it being fun and challenging. But with this weapon, it's just like, park yourself in a corner, shoot in a straight line until everything on one wall is dead. Then make your way to the next corner and repeat.
Also,
Yeah.
I like how the spikes spawn on top of the swirly enemy, so it can't go anywhere.
Oh, and it's making the, like, bumping noise. Because it can't...
Up it came out.
Yeah, there we go. But
But
yeah,
it still can't go anywhere.
Did the spikes ever spawn on top of you?
They can, yes.
Oof.
They're not like instant kill, they just do 1 damage.
Ouch.
But yeah, it's still annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Well, the spikes are spawned in patterns, so. But now we have our spider tank.
Oh, spider tank. Makes no fucking sense.
Well, you know.
Yeah, we
It's
just-
the treads every time. Get
How
gear
can this
now.
tank climb? Look out.
You can sort of
It's
be
nonsensical spider tank.
You can sort of drive a spider tank in Mass Effect 1, if you remember. That thing can
Uh,
drive up almost completely steep inclines. As long as it's like
Was-
1 degree off from totally vertical, you can drive up. If you zigzag
Oh.
a little.
Oh,
you
so
mean, you mean like horses in Skyrim?
or Link in Breath of the Wild? Did they all just go to a mountain climbing convention and learn this one secret tricks? Physics professors hate it.
So yeah, here we have a bit of a plot dump. Eve and Fred were sent here to wipe out mutants, because mutants are evil.
Yeah. Now I didn't finish 2. The mutants are just like evil and bad, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's still weird though that we never learn what the original thing that like killed the original people of the planet were, because I believe they say they weren't mutants. It was something else, unless if I'm misremembering. So,
Ah.
because
Yeah,
I mean,
I got my memory back. I defragged and everything.
so when she gets her memory back, she does the, oh, I can't let you join me. It's too dangerous anime self-sacrificing shenanigans.
Yeah, but it's like, I'm the one who's been doing all the work the entire time.
I mean, to be fair, she's a robot. If she didn't remember she was a robot, she might not remember how to, like, access her laser eyes or something. For all we know, like, that was actually one thing, is I expected there to be a playable Eve when I finished the game, like, 100% or something like that.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you do have a playable Eve in 2, but
Oh,
you do?
Ted.
what
yeah,
makes...
it's the 100% extra area.
Oh, okay.
She sucks. Sorry.
She
to say.
sucks? Oh.
Of course she does. It's anime.
Is she overhead, or do you get a tank with her as well?
Both.
What's her, like, thing in overhead?
She has like this little bubbly kitty paw thing that goes like 2 feet in front of you.
Oh, okay.
It's not very good.
I can imagine.
Why am I not surprised? Yeah, because it's anime.
Spider tank. Spider tank.
I mean, this is a really fun ability, as, like, much as it makes 0 sense to have a tank that can climb walls. It is fun.
It looks.
I just go wherever I want. Fuck your level. I have walls. Look out. I have a spider tank.
Are there walls that you can't spider up?
I think, like, sometimes they'll have, like, a specific graphic or something, and it's just like, no, you're not allowed to
Spider
be on
tank
that.
here.
And you can't also, like, jump and then latch onto a wall. You have to latch onto a wall while driving
On
into
the
it from
corner.
the ground.
Yeah.
So
Ah.
it's not like you can, like, jump onto any wall and do it. There are only specific walls.
That's
you
the
can.
that's the next game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.